मैं प्रभ मिलने का चाहूं, 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 मैं प्रभ मिलने का कर मिन्नत कर जोदड़ी, मैं प्रभ मिलने का चाहूं, मैं प्रभ मिलने का चाहूं, मैं प्रभ मिलने का चाहूं। हाँ पंथ दसाई नित खड़ी, कोई प्रभु दसे तिन जाओ, जिन्नी मेरा प्यारा राहिया, तिन पीछे लाग पेरा। कर मिन्नत कर जोदड़ी, मैं प्रभु मिलने का चाहूं, मैं प्रभु मिलने का चाहूं, मैं प्रभु मिलने का चाहूं। मेरे पाई जना कोई मुको, हर प्रभ मेल मिलाए। मेरे पाई जना कोई मुको, हर प्रभ मेल मिलाए। हाँ सतगुर विटो वारिया, जिन हर प्रभ दिया दिखाए। हाँ सतगुर विटो वारिया, जिन हर प्रभ दिया दिखाए। कर मिन्नत कर जोदड़ी, मैं प्रभ मिलने का चाहूं, 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 मैं प्रभ मिलने का चाहूं। होय निमाणी टपवा, पूरे सतगुर पास। होय निमाणी टपवा, पूरे सतगुर पास। निमाणिया गुर मान है, गुर सतगुर करे सबास। निमाणिया गुर मान है, गुर सतगुर करे सबास। हाँ गुर सलाहे नारजो, मैं मेले हर प्रभ पास। हाँ गुर सलाहे नारजो, मैं मेले हर प्रभ पास। ਕਰ ਮਿੰਨਤ ਕਰ ਜੋਦੜੀ, ਮੈਂ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਮਿਲਣੇ ਕਾ ਚਾਹੁ, 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 ਮੈਂ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਮਿਲਣੇ ਕਾ ਚਾਹੁ। ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਨੂੰ ਸਭ ਕੋ ਲੋਚਦਾ, ਜੇਤਾ ਜਗਤ ਸਭ ਕੋਇ। ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਨੂੰ ਸਭ ਕੋ ਲੋਚਦਾ, ਜੇਤਾ ਜਗਤ ਸਭ ਕੋਇ। ਵਿਣ ਭਾਗਾ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਨਾ ਥੀਐ, ਭਾਗਹੀਣ ਬਹਿ ਰੋਏ। ਵਿਣ ਭਾਗਾ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਨਾ ਥੀਐ, ਭਾਗਹੀਣ ਬਹਿ ਰੋਏ। ਜੋ ਹਰ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਪਾਣਾ ਸੋ ਥੀਆ, ਤੁਰ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਨਾ ਮੇਟ ਕੋਇ। ਜੋ ਹਰ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਭਾਣਾ ਸੋ ਥੀਆ, ਤੁਰ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਨਾ ਮੇਟ ਕੋਇ। ਕਰ ਮਿੰਨਤ ਕਰ ਜੋਦੜੀ, ਮੈਂ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਮਿਲਣੇ ਕਾ ਚਾਹੁ, 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 ਮੈਂ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਮਿਲਣੇ ਕਾ ਚਾਹੁ। ਆਪੇ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਆਪ ਹਰ, ਆਪੇ ਮੇਲ ਮਿਲਾਏ। ਆਪੇ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਆਪ ਹਰ, ਆਪੇ ਮੇਲ ਮਿਲਾਏ। ਆਪ ਦਇਆ ਕਰ ਮੇਲ ਸੀ, ਗੁਰ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਪੀਛੇ ਪਾਏ। ਆਪ ਦਇਆ ਕਰ ਮੇਲ ਸੀ, ਗੁਰ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਪੀਛੇ ਪਾਏ। ਸਭ ਜਗ ਜੀਵਨ ਜਗ ਆਪ ਹੈ, ਨਾਨਕ ਜਲ ਜਲੇ ਸਮਾਏ। ਸਭ ਜਗ ਜੀਵਨ ਜਗ ਆਪ ਹੈ,
It has absorbed you so completely.
Hello everyone, hi, welcome to today's satsang. Hello. Okay, so today's Shabad is by Sumit ji. Bar bar kar jor ki sevai karu pukar. I'm sorry if I pronounce it wrong. The English translation is folding my hands repeatedly. I tell my guru with respect. Then we have Michael, and today Dr. Chand is going to talk about Kal Chakra. Kal does not allow the soul to go out of his clutches. Then we'll have a short dhyan session of 5 minutes. Then we'll watch Master's YouTube video, and then we'll do group meditation with love and devotion. Thank you so much. Let's start the Shabad. Bye.
Radha Swami, dear brothers and sisters, this Shabad is from Swamiji Maharaj. This is the prayer of the soul in front of his master and the God. I am translating this Shabad in English. O Supreme God, we are praying with folded hands again and again that please give always the company of the saints. O kind ocean, the perfect master, you are everlasting. Radha Swami, Supreme Father, I am always depending on you. I am sacrificing body, mind in your holy feet. Please shower your grace, then I will be able to sing. I am nothing in front of you. You are great, very great Master, kind ocean, and perfect Guru. This is prayer to my Almighty God to give me your service and devotion in your holy feet. I was orphan and dependent. You, merciful Father, held my hand. O gracious and kind Lord, please keep me always with you. I am surrounded with lust, anger, ego, and greed. I am helpless with all the bad deeds. O Lord, I am on your door. Please save my honor. Radha Swami, perfect Master, there is no one like you. Please shower your unlimited grace. Please don't delay now to shower the grace. Please shower me, the love of Supreme Father, with your grace. Please take me up from suffering and sorrow of this earth. O Supreme God, we are praying with folded hands again and again that please give always the company of the saints. Now I will sing the Shabad. बार बार कर जोर कर सविने करूं पुकार साध संग मोहे देवो नित परम गुरु तातार बार बार कर जोर कर सविने करूं पुकार साध संग मोहि देवो नित परम गुरु दातार। कृपा सिंध समरथ पुरुष आदि अनादि अपार। राधा स्वामी परम पितु मैं तुम सदा आधार। बार बार बल जाऊं तन मन वारूं चरण पर। क्या मुखले में गाऊं मेहर करी जस कृपा कर। धान्य धान्य गुरुदेव दया सिंध पूरन धनी। नित करूं तुम सेव अचल भक्ति मोहे देवो प्रभु। दाने दाने गुरुदेव दया सिंध पूरन धनी। नित करूं तुम सेव अचल भक्ति मोहे देवो प्रभु। दीन अदीन अनाथ हाथ गहा तुम आन कर। अब राखो नित साथ दीन दयाल कृपा निधि। काम क्रोध मद लोभ सब विधि अवगुण हार में। प्रभु राखो मेरी लाज तुम द्वारे अब मैं पड़ा। काम क्रोध मद लोभ सब विधि अवगुण हार में। प्रभु राखो मेरी लाज तुम द्वारे अब मैं पड़ा। राधा स्वामी गुरु समरथ तुम बिन और ना दूसरा। अब करो दया परतक्ष तुम दर एति विलंब क्यों। राधा स्वामी गुरु समरथ तुम बिन और न दूसरा। अब करो दया परतक्ष तुम दर एति विलंब क्यों। दया करो मेरे साईया देवो प्रेम की दात। दुख सुख कुछ व्यापे नहीं छूटे सब उत्पात। दया करो मेरे साईया देवो प्रेम की दात। दुख सुख कुछ व्यापे नहीं छूटे सब उत्पात। बार बार कर जोर कर सविने करो पुकार साध संग मोहे देवो नित परम गुरु दातार बार बार कर जोर कर सविनय करो पुकार साध संग मोहे देवो नित परम गुरु दातार परम गुरु दातार परम गुरु दातार परम गुरु दाता राधा स्वामी.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to satsang. So nice to see all of you, my holy family. And Naya, thank you so much for reading the schedule. And Sumit, you look beautiful, both of you. And Sumit, thank you for the love and devotion and the cry of the soul, um, of your heart. How nice just to just feel the love of the hearts. And we are all here gathered. Oh, I forgot to plug my ear. So
We could still hear you, Michael.
oh, good, wonderful. We all meet here in the circle of love, lovers of the Lord, where we meet on the soul level, not on our mind level. We try to put our mind, ego, and all the lower things aside, and we try to meet on the soul level, on the love level, on the God level, and we meet here every day so we can grow together. Together, I can grow one step towards God, and become a true devotee, it become a true disciple, and all of us. Our purpose is to become perfect devotees of the Lord. That's why we meet here, not for any other purpose other than to just sit together with Master, relax in Master. Where two or more gather in my name, there I am. So we are gathering in the name of the perfect one. We are gathering in the name of Ishwarji, and we are reposing in his love and trying to become perfect devotees, to progress, to remove all the barriers of separation that hold us from true divinity, true oneness, completeness, being comprehensive, being unconditional, unconditional love. So it's a process. It's a process where every day in this body, which is like a city. It's a city that contains everything. This city is a vast city, the city of the human body. It's a vast city. It contains everything of the creation of Lord God from A to Z, the gods, the goddesses, the deities, the creator, the sustainer, the destroyer. And we according to the level of our seeking, we meet those powers inside of us according to the level of our seeking. If we are seeking the ultimate truth, then teachers from the ultimate truth will manifest themselves in our life. And if we keep seeking the ultimate truth, the highest form of love, the purest form of love, then the total one, our inner self, will manifest the total one, the complete one in our life. So in this journey of love, where love lights our way, we are not to worry about anything. All what we have to do is just relax inside the city, build a place where we can worship the Lord, the ultimate power that created all these lower things, the gods and the deities and the angels and the devils that all reside in our body. We can build a place of refuge. We can build a temple. In this body, we can build a temple where we can go into that temple whenever we want and connect with our highest divinity, with the perfect one, with the creator of the whole show. Whatever you want to call him, you can call him Satpurush, God, beloved, lover. All these words does not matter. Is that power? That power is one. That power is one. It could manifest itself, as Baba Sawan Singh says, that that power is one, but it can manifest itself in more than one person because God is unlimited and God can manifest himself wherever he wants. So wherever there are seekers, wherever there are seekers of the highest truth, masters appear there. Masters appear there. And Baba Sawan Singh said that the perfect, total ones, those who have passed the, the soul realization, who have went beyond the mind and became pure soul and then went another step beyond the par brahm into totality of consciousness are very rare and can be counted on the fingers of one hand. That's what Baba Sawan Singh said. And I heard it through Ishwar Puri Ji. He quoted his master Baba Sawan Singh. How lucky we are that we have it, that we met a perfect disciple of Baba Sawan Singh. That out of the line of Baba Sawan Singh, hundreds of masters came, and you all know them. However, we are so lucky that we are drinking the, the water of life from the source that Baba Sawan Singh gave us his disciple which was a perfect disciple. And he gave us the message of truth directly. As Baba Sawan Singh lived in his heart, he became one with Baba Sawan Singh, and we got the message firsthand, directly from Baba Sawan Singh, who lives in his perfect disciple. That's how lucky we are that the information that we got from Ishwar Puri Ji was exactly what Baba Sawan Singh has taught. And he has left us with a legacy, of teachings that have been recorded. They're all on YouTube and they're all written down in archives and in the and we can refer to them if we have any question. If we have any question about spirituality, we can go to these sources and get the first-hand knowledge that came from Baba Sawan Singh through Ishwar Puri Ji. That's how lucky we are, and then we can learn more and more and more. And if we have any questions, usually the best thing about this path, which is the path of miracles, where God arranges everything for our spiritual benefit, moment by moment by moment, that if we have any spiritual question, then life will answer it. Life will answer it through circumstances and occasions that we meet people, then they could give us a good taste, they could give us a bad taste. We learn their inner self, we see where they are in their spiritual development, what they are, they show themselves. This is how God works. God works from the outside, also from the inside. We could just open a book from Sant Kirpal's booklets or from or from any perfect master, and just open it from the books of the perfect masters, and the answer will be there, right there, right there. I have experienced this hundreds of times, especially when I was new on this path and I had millions of questions, and I would just have the question in my head, then open one of the books of the masters while doing Simran and asking master for an answer, and boom, the answer was there. The answer was there. This is how beautiful this path is, that it just provides us with all the answers, all the answers. And if we cannot find it through books, if we cannot find it through life, then also like the answer manifests itself from one of our developed who have a brother or sister who have been on the path, who can help us and can tell us the ways and the means from their own spiritual development. As we go every day, we change. Every day we change while we are on the path. And we could have been on this path for more than one life. We could have been on this path for few lives to meet really the perfect highest one. We go through many, many, many teachers on our way. Each one takes us to his level. Each one gives us something. And then if we keep yearning, then we meet another one. Sometimes in our life, where we are not, we meet the perfect master, but we are not ready yet. We are not ready yet for the perfect master, but that seed of love has touched us. That seed of love never goes away. And then when we are, then he appears again in another body, in another life. Once they appear, they will keep appearing until they take us to our abode, which is God and the kingdom of God. So it's a path to relax in God. It's a path to just trust in the will of God, that if we are a seeker, no, we should not worry about anything. But what did Baba Sawan Singh teach us? That the highest guru resides in our heart, resides in our inner self. As our this body, which is the city of God that contains everything, it also contains that supreme power. And whenever we have a problem in this world, wherever, whenever we are not feeling harmonized or whatever we need, we can just repose and we can just relax. And we build a place inside this city, inside this temple, inside this. We build this temple of God is the human body. We build a temple within the temple, which is over here, and we sit here. We can put whatever we want there, our chairs, our carpets, whatever we like. We can put Master there and talk to Master, and then repose there. And from there, our needs will be satisfied because we are with the King of Kings. We are with the King of Kings inside our human body. And that King of Kings will provide all answers and will provide everything that is needed on the path so we can keep developing, we can keep going forward. All what we have to do is come up to this place that we have built the temple within the temple and reside there on daily basis. Keep feeding our soul with love. Keep feeding our soul with love, as love is the only way to God, and only love can take us to our true home, to our true abode. Only love can change us, and only love can solve all the problems. If we keep coming here to this place and reposing here, no matter what our condition is, then there will be a flow of harmony, a flow of peace, a flow of ecstasy, a flow of bliss, light, the light of God, and the sound of God, and the inner master. All this combination of divinity just nourishes us and gives us fortitude and power. We will be fortified with that love. So when we come on the outside, we can live the outside world in a harmony. And every day, as we progress, we become more and more only a silent spectator, looking at things from above and surrendering to whatever comes to us as the will of God. As the will of God. We even will start to run after the pleasures of these worlds, and just, if they come towards us, we accept them. If pain comes towards us, we also accept it, but we do not go out of our way to seek it. That is how God makes us, how God makes us. And as we progress on the path, we will see like how many bonds Master cut, how many things that are unnecessary baggage that we used to carry when we were first on the path, and we compare ourselves 20 years after being on the path and meditation, and how much he has released us from bondages, from people who used to take us the other way, from all the unnecessary relationships that took us away from God. All these things, slowly, slowly, one by one, Master keeps cutting, and He will keep taking us towards Him inside, removing one barrier after the other barrier, after the other barrier, until we meet Him inside ourselves. That is what all of us are seeking, the true lovers of God. We are seeking one thing and only one thing, to reach that moment where all the veils are removed and we become pure love. And pure at heart are the ones that shall see God. Pure at heart are the ones who have unconditional love, who become the mouthpiece of the Master. And that is all a process. We are going through this process day by day to become perfect disciples, to grow in humility, that we know that really we are nothing, nothing. And it's only God that is doing everything. It's only Master that is doing everything. And we are just students on the path of love, students in this university of God, the big university of God called life, where, where life becomes our guru and life becomes a big satsang. It's not just satsang here, but it continues on into our life, and our whole life becomes a very big satsang. And all our spiritual questions, our quests, our anxieties, everything will be answered. Everything will be answered. And we ultimately will be left in a peaceful condition just to worship God. We will see all the situation of the world and how people are just entangled in attachments and in big, big sufferings. Big, big suffering. The world without God is a very treacherous place. The world without Master is a very, 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 very suffering place. And we also, as part of this lesson towards God, while we are on the path, sometimes we lose the path and we put Master aside and we get engaged in the world. We go into that direction only as a lesson to show us how much suffering we accumulate while we forget Master, while we forget our true essence, while we forget why we have come into this world. When we go that path, it is also a lesson from God to show us that life is in me, that I am the vine and you are my branches. And as long as you are embedded in me, you will nourish and you will flourish and you will give fruit. But once you are disconnected from me, then you will wither and you will die. And this is how life is. I have also went through years where I was somehow, while I was after initiation, that I went through some time where I was disconnected. Not totally disconnected, but I gave more priority to the worldly life than Master. I was still meditating. I was still connected, but I was putting attention more on the world. And I remember those days, they were days of suffering, days of horrible suffering, really. Um, it's just big sufferings. And that sufferings taught me something. It taught me something that happiness is only in God. Prosperity is only in God. Everything beautiful is only comes from God. Only comes from God. And without God, it is terrible, terrible, terrible suffering. So we come here to this temple, within the temple, and we sit and we just get the shower of bliss, get the shower of Master. Enjoy the holy light, enjoy the holy sound, enjoy the darkness even. If there is no holy sound, no holy light, that's also okay. We enjoy the darkness as long as we are holding the hand of Master. We learn to surrender to whatever He gives us outside, and whatever He gives us inside is satisfaction. We get content. We become a content person living in this world just for one purpose only, and that purpose is to meet the Lord within, live with the Lord 100% within, merge in that beauty, in that love, become love, merge with love, learn all the qualities of love, and become the purest form of love. And the purest form of love knows no judgment, no criticism, no comparison, loves all, embraces all, and has appreciation for everyone that came into our life as a lesson. Whether they were good to us, whether they were bad to us, we embrace them, we love them as they were given to us by the divine to teach us something, to give us something, or to take something from us. Whatever they came in our life for, we appreciate them, we are thankful for them, and that is how forgiveness forgiveness sprouts in our body when we see the whole show as the show of God, and everything and whatever comes towards us is our own actions, whether from this life or from the past life, and we learn how to forgive ourselves, how to forgive those people, and how to see them as just God coming towards us. We start to see everybody as part of God. Everybody we when we see somebody, it's as if we are sitting with Master, because Master is living in everything, in all his forms, whether they are plants, animals, or humans, or even devils. He is sitting there. He is sitting there, and we love them, we appreciate them. And once we love all and see Master in all, then nothing can harm us. Can harm us because around us there is a sphere of love that cannot be penetrated from negativity. That is the protection and the love that comes from being devotees of the Lord. We have a sphere of love. And in that sphere of love, we walk in this world and we walk happy. We walk holding the hand of Master 100% moment by moment. We keep growing in Master and nothing can harm us. Then we can say, my Master is the greatest, he who protects me. Let me read to you just few verses from this is Sultan Bahu's book. I love his poetry. Let's see, where was I reading? Oh, you ignorant, let's see. Everyone talks of devotion. No one knows what devotion is, O Dadu. Devotion to God is always performed within the body. For my friend, I made my body into a city where I built a special home in my heart for him. When the one Lord took abode in it, I was blessed with profound repose. That's what I was saying. In the darkness of your existence lies ambrosia. Wow. In the darkness of your existence lies ambrosia. Become a fish and drown yourself in it. In the darkness of your existence lies ambrosia. Become a fish and drown yourself in it. If your heart is pure, you will see your God. Search nowhere but within yourself, and you will meet the Lord. Beautiful. This is from Saint Kabir. Why do you shout, O Lord, O Lord? He is with you. He is with you. Remember him, and he is by your side. Enter within yourself and see. You shall meet the magnificent Lord. Wow. This is Paltu Shahib. Seek the beloved within your body. Swamiji. Whoever has found the mystic secret, search for the path within himself. He is a dweller in that temple of bliss, which knows neither rise nor fall. The temple of bliss. He is a dweller in that temple of bliss, which knows neither rise and fall. Wow. This body is the temple of the true Lord, in which fragrant gardens abound, with eternally fresh blossoms. Inside are the prayer mats, the places for prostration, and the means of ritual abolition. Inside is the Kaaba, the Qibla, And here I cry out to Allah, the one without parallel. That's from Sultan Bahu. He made, because he came from a Muslim background, and he's saying that the Kaaba, the Qibla, well, the place he cries to God is inside himself. That this is the true mosque inside our own self, where we bow down to the Supreme One, the true Guru. The outer gurus only comes in our life to tell us something that we need to learn at that time. And then they teach us that the supreme power, the inner guru, is inside of us. And this is where we will find the supreme guru. They come in our life to teach us love and to teach us devotion. Love and devotion. And we perform that love and devotion inside our heart, the heart of hearts inside this temple. If the beloved is in your heart and we go in search of him to the mosque, then this act of ours would be no better than vagrancy. Vagrancy. Okay. I shall not bath at the pilgrim places, nor annoy the creatures of water. My Guru has shown me within my body the 68 holy places wherein I shall bath. Wow, that's from Sant Namdev. Okay, so, okay, one more poem. Nothing will be achieved by looking outside. He lives right in your own backyard. All the veils will be lifted, O Bahu, when you remove all the coverings of dirt, and your heart shines like a mirror. And that's what satsang is, that we come here to polish ourselves every day. And I always beg God, please polish me, please clean me. Because I have a yearning to meet the Lord within in my heart. The basket of loaves is on your head, and you are begging for crumbs from door to door. O you good man, enter your own head and knock at your heart. Why do you beg at every door? Wow. Like the sky, the seeker of God may revolve around the world for 100 years, but not until he revolves around his own self will he be considered to have seen the reality. That's from Khawaja Hafiz. Okay, brother, search for the Lord within your heart. Why do you go astray and wander from place to place? I tell you the secret. To look for him outside is futile. That's from another saint, Jaga Vivan Shahib. All right. This is my introduction for today. And I'm so happy, my holy family, our connection is soul to soul. When the connection is soul to soul, then it is forever. It does not need to be maintained like the relationship of the mind, and it stays forever. That even if we are apart for years, because our love is from soul to soul, then when we meet again, it will be as if it is yesterday. Now I welcome my dear brother, Dr. Chant. I'm looking forward for his talk. And after his talk, I'm gonna play a video about from Ishwar Puriji where he explains also about the perfect masters and how they appear. And I found that talk.
Thank you, Michael. That's great. So it's a river of love. And we all satsangis are here. And we every day take a bath in this beautiful river of love. Now here is a point today we are talking about that how the Kal Chakra is trying to manage us and the Kal does not allow the souls to leave the domain of Kal. You know? So we got to understand that part, that what kind of tricks the mind will keep playing with you to keep you engaged here in this time-bound material creation. Then what are those areas, so that we can really understand the basics, to be alert how to really save ourselves from the clutches of the mind, how the mind takes us and traps us in this world. So understanding this is very, very important, because all the satsangs you listen, in all those satsangs there is a talk somewhere or the other. So now what I would like to emphasize here, that whenever we listen to all these satsangs, there are points which are related to all the walks of life, all those areas of our life which we are dealing. Because the material needs of the body, the demands of time, and then how we are passing through this 8.4 million species, how we really traveled all this. And this understanding, that how really we can understand the Kala Chakra. Now the first point I would like to mention here is that the whole cosmos is a living entity, number one, and it is pulsating. It is starting and finishing. Beautiful lines Dr. Stephen Hawking said, brief history of time from Big Bang to black hole. Now this is a brief history of time. This is what has to be understood, that how time is playing with us, because the saints have always said that the mind is representing Kal, and Kal means time. So this mind which is representing Kal is all the time with you, and it has covered you because it deals with information and laws of nature. All that past, and you pre-calculate the future with worries and fears, all this information is enveloping the soul. And over and above this 100 trillion cells of this body, and this is what is a covering, and how the mind really plays and doesn't want you to leave the domain of Kal. Because as I said, the whole creation is a pulsating universe. It starts, it expands from a big bang, and then when it expands and then finishes, science in the modern times have calculated that it is 13.7 billion years ago the Big Bang started. And the big rip, when it is going to finish, is another 22 billion years from now. That's how the calculations of this dream period is being done. People who are dealing with material sciences, that how the material it annihilates itself, it finishes. Even Stephen Hawking said that in black holes, even E is equal to mc square does not hold good. So even in some of the talks, Ishwar Puriji also said that the physical laws are different, laws of nature, and in the astral form the laws are different, as he explains that there is no gravity pull in your astral body. It can fly there, because here we have got the weight of this body, but there it is not there. So now understanding these areas, how you are that light, because we have connected the whole concept through particle and wave theory. The particle of light connected with the wave to its source, and source is also light. So we are light and sound. And then it is said that omniscient, omnipresent, it is everywhere. And that is an understanding that we are part of the Absolute, which is omniscient, which is everywhere. And now you are the one which is everywhere. And just in a huff, if you rise above body and mind, including the astral area and the causal area, then you are everywhere. You can see it yourself. Because from the center you can watch all around in all the directions. East, west, north, south, up and down. In all the directions, they call it Daso Dishai. All the 10, the sides, So you are that light, which can see and act in all the directions. It's a capable force. Now, how this capable force gets trapped into Kala Chakra? Because how we entered the field of time, and that is what is the mind. Mind is time. That is what is Kal. And how we acquired the laws of nature and information system from the Kal, from the universal mind, to create our own causal mind, refined it into astral mind and astral body, a sketch, a blueprint. In the causal, we have got a sketch. Then in the astral, we have got detailed drawings of the whole thing. And then physical part. And which in the last satsang, I talked that, from the astral region, where you have got all the information right from the first single cell, 8.4 million species, and then reaching the crown of creation, the human body. Now, every time in the last satsangs we could talk that from a physical part we go to the astral, and then we again come back, start from the scratch, maybe as a small little baby in the human form. We keep on coming for a few thousand years to manage our karmas, So we are doing back and forth from this region of astral, coming to the physical part. Now understanding that how this Kal Chakra, which is the whole creation is a pulsating universe, as I said, it starts and finishes. Again it starts and again it finishes. So now here you got to understand this part, that till the time you have crossed this region of 22 billion years more, 13.7 billion years have gone, 22 billion years are still there. And in this small window of 100 years, when we take birth as a human being, and how the perfect living masters come and they are searching for us. They are searching those seekers, and those seekers who really want to go back, because God loves you. To love, He goes through all these channels, comes here, and He wants to hold your hand to take you back. But understanding that how this Kala Chakra, how the Kal is trying to hold us. Now you look, the body needs, as I explained, hunger, clothes, housing, vanities of the world, sex and sleep. Now each one of them, is a major trap, because we think this is what is real. Whereas in the satsang you could understand that there is something beyond, which is more real. Ishwar Puriji explains that part, that once you rise above this, you think where your eyesight is 20/20. Here it may be bad, you are wearing those glasses, but in the astral, It is perfect. And it is much real there. And this is a dream. Then we go to the, causal area. Then we say that is more real. Even the astral is not that real. And finally, we go beyond. And in satsang, we say, well, this is what we are. And now understanding this, in the explanation of saints and all these satsangs with Michael and team are organizing, this is what is there. So now you are meeting all those saints, you are listening to them. So each saint, in Sant, the saints earn their own livelihood. They don't live on others' money. This is something very important to understand. And then they will never do ninda. Means they will never talk anything bad about anything. Because my mother tells me that each religion is good because they are trying to bring people to this side. They are all seekers, and one has not to demean others, especially those gurus, because we have got a class. It starts from KG, primary, secondary school, and higher education. So each time you need different gurus to tell you, and you keep on getting. And this seeking ability, that we can't seek the master finds us. He comes to us. One way or the other, he comes and tells us. So I think all the masters been telling us this only, that how to really manage this area and to understand, develop an understanding that how this time and material creation, which is time-bound material creation, I call it, how it traps us. And it never wants us to leave this. Because now here are the Kal, let me explain the universal mind, which is operating through various frequencies, and all that information, as I always explain, 2G, 3G, internet is all operative, and it is in the whole cosmos. So all those areas have covered your soul, and it had created those materials. It is all frequencies, because particle and wave is a frequency. So that frequency, then the Kal has created its own frequencies, and that material has got its own frequencies created by Kal, of course. So all these frequencies, we are trapped into that. And how they trap you? By providing information. So the Kal, which deals with information of time, past and future, keeps on involving you by providing you the informations. And all those informations are trapping you here. Now this particular age when we are living here is the age of, as they used to say, the iron age, the golden age, and all those ages. Today is the age of information. IT, information technology, has gone that high. And all that information and your involvement with that information. Because as I explained earlier also, then when from all those species we became a human body, we thought we are a body only. And then once we started amassing information, we thought we are mind. I know everything, so ego is developed. So who's saying this? Because the attention, which is the outer expression of your soul, is covered with all that frequencies, the information, and such a huge information that it keeps you involved all the time. And then the material game of Kal is involving you. Now in these satsangs, beautiful satsangs, and this is what tells you that how to really come out of this trap of Kal, because it will provide you those informations, what you are doing, say for example, my material body with material needs, hunger, and then hunger is an area, but then the taste is from the mind. So hunger and the taste. Then sometimes hunger is involving you, then the taste comes. And taste does so much of, permutation and combinations of this. How many kinds of foods are there? How many tastes are there? So this is involving. Who's getting involved? The attention. Attention gets involved. And in between there is a modem. And this modem is known as mind. This mind which deals with information is there. And this modem, till the time you don't put a software in this modem, you can't understand this area, because it has completely taken you out. It is such a virus in it, such a programming is there. So Kal has got a wonderful planning to keep you here. And in every day's work, 24/7, it is trying to involve you with your body. As I was saying, the hunger and the taste. Something further goes on. Hunger, clothes. Now what you wear. And right from those early times when you had nothing to wear, then you were hunting, you were having that leather and hides you were wearing. Then gradually the needs of time and material made you work on textiles. You started developing. The beautiful silk came in. You started working because you looked into that, and it was very pleasing. It was very soft for the skin also. Now see what is happening. Now this body is getting involved into those areas. And how the mind is providing more information. More information. The probabilities are there. Then you are further working on it. Then the beautiful designs of these clothes came up. You got involved into that. Who's getting involved? The attention. Wherever the attention goes, the divine energy flows. Now the saints have told you that attention, that is what you are. And it is only one thing in your hands, to give attention or not to give attention. See, now till the time the body and mind are spinning you into information and material, they are involving you here. They are not giving you a chance. Not even a chance. 24/7. So, hunger, and then clothes, then housing, where you will live. What kind of living? Whether it is 1 room or 10 room or a palace or a fort. So all those things, how you will make that. Then what is that? The house has to be decorated. So you need an interior decorators for that. So each time the light, a proper kind of a light has to be there. It should not disturb your eyes, It should be soft light, on the roof, so that you can read easily. Then those books are there. So this is how, as I say, hunger, clothes, housing, vanities of the world. What else? any kind of things, right from a horse, to a cycle, to a car, to an aeroplane, or things like that. So now look at Carl. Time and material uses your energy to make certain things, which are more attractive to you. As a seeker, you are really lost into this. Now this is a game. You are here to experience all this. But as Ishwar Puriji says, if you're liking it, it is not your path. You just keep on enjoying it. It is only for the seekers, who are fed up from this time and material life. As in the earlier times, in 60s, the hippies came up in US. So it was a hippie culture. So they were, children of very rich people. They said, what to do with that money? So they started with all those, drugs, etc., started enjoying their life differently. But still they could know, well, it is a trap again. So gradually, once we get really bothered with this life, as Nanak says, Nanak dukhiya sab sansar, sukhi wahi jo naam aadhar. He says, in this world, everybody is not happy. Everybody is sad, Even a king or a politician or a businessman, they are all involved into it. Now, saints have explained all this, so nicely in different stages, Michael is trying to bring in different people. He says, come on, let us have more seva so that all the walks of life are covered. We should have the gist of experiences of different people. But then in this Sant Mat, we got to see that the right people are here with us. We are not doing anybody's ninda. We are not talking about others that he is bad, or we are, we got to be non-judgmental. We should not judge people. At the same time, there are parameters of those saints, as I was saying, that they earn their own livelihood. They don't depend upon others. They don't do ninda. They appreciate each and every religion, each and every person who's teaching, because they are trying to give you some information. They may not be telling you the Surat Shabad Yoga, the highest yoga, but then they are driving you, because each one, as last time also I said, people go to Kumbh Mela, millions of them. People keep on going to do this Hajj, They keep on visiting Vatican. This is how we go to churches. So we are all seekers. And these seekers needs the information which luckily all of us here in this group have got. All the Sant Mat people know this. But then looking at the trap, because all those religions became for power and money. They went after that. So this is what has to be understood, that how we can really keep ourselves safe. As I was explaining that, hunger, clothes, housing, vanities of the world, then sex, and then sleep, lethargy. Now it's a short little time. Then people started involving themselves into pornography and to increase those temporary pleasures here. And we got trapped into it again. Because this is how the material body and its work, as I explained, the attributes of the mind, which is lust, because that sex will get converted into lust. At the level of the body, it is sex, but at the level of the mind, it is lust. And if you are not happy here, then what really happens, that the anger comes in, it takes you over. And then that anger makes you do certain things. And there is a law. Every action has got an equal and opposite reaction. Again, the mind is sitting and waiting for you to get trapped. So that is how Ishwar Puriji says that we got to be warriors, And the term he uses has to be understood, how to be warriors, because we got to be alert as a warrior, that who's the enemy who's gonna, attack on us. So we should know this, that these areas, of lust, anger, ego, attachment, deceit, fears and worries are all enemies. But now the saints have told, make them friends. Be friendly with them. Because this is how a monitor in the class has to be there. So you got to you got to work as a monitor, because attention is a capable thing. Because as I explain, while explaining spirituality, that attention is like an omni-scanner. If you do the scanning of a paper from one side to make a copy of that, so the light is on that one sheet of paper only on one side. But this omni-scanner of yours can scan from all the directions, all the 10 different directions it can, because it is throwing light on each and everything. And throwing light means the enlightenment. The soul gets enlightened that you are here in this trap of Kal and Maya. They won't let you go, because time and again they will create those doubts. And we are so lucky to have people like perfect living masters like Ishwar Puriji, who took out all those finer details, how it traps you, how time and material involves you in this, and then what are those stages you got to go. So allow your monitor, the attention, which is like a scanner, to look into the information and pick up what is needed, because scanner has got that ability to pick up what you plan. So you got to help your mind to understand and to develop that software, and that software to pick up only that information which is helping you on this path, on the Sant Mat, to come out of this rut, out of these problems. And as soon as you rise to that level, you are a happy person, because from the top you can watch all that information, past and future, and all that, those material involvements. So it is only rising above. So it is not falling in love, it is rising in love. Let me say this, that you rise in love to that level of your soul which you are, which is within you. And how nicely you have been explained that you have not to go anywhere. It is just here and now, within your body, behind your eyes. It is just there. All those areas, which is, billions of light years outside. And how close it is. Just in all those billions of light years you are crossing in a second. As you withdraw your attention, you're just there. It is within you. How lovely analysis has been done, because the perfect living master came in presence of another living master. As a child, Ishwar Puriji started. And as I say that my mother did genetic engineering, as a child she started teaching us this. So something similar, that we got perfect living master like Ishwar Puriji, that he spent his life with great master. And then he took that challenge. He will not believe on those things. For you, he spent all his life doing analysis of all those areas. He joined that school of dreams. How to understand those dreams, how to understand that consciousness part, all those conferences, meeting different kind of people, the healers and whatnot. Been to Himalayas. He converted to Islam. He loved Christianity, Buddhism. For whom he did it? For all of us. To help us to come out of that Kala Chakra, which is trying to trap you here. The whole world is, pulsating universes. But then the time involved. Last time also, I think once I told you that somebody came from Brazil to Maharaj Darshan Singh Ji. So he said that you said that ultimately everybody will join with the Absolute. We will be there in our own home if this time and material creation finishes, because it is pulsating. But then he says, ultimately I'll go there. So I'm happy here doing all this, what I'm doing. He was a drug dealer. Then, it was something before my eyes, because my mother had gone to visit Darshan Singh Ji Maharaj. We were sitting on the terrace and others were sitting around. And this gentleman from Brazil was there. And he asked this. And then finally, he got that answer that it is your decision, my dear. You want to be here for another 22 billion years? And all those problems will continue here? Or you want to go now? Now, this is what has to be understood. How much we want to keep us trapped into time and material. Now, if we are those seekers now, enough is enough. Let us be happy and let us remain in bliss. How we can do that? Simple method, Surat Shabad Yoga. That you de-link your attention from body and mind and be there within yourself. There's no traveling involved, my dear. You have not to go anywhere. Just, beautiful word he used, withdrawal of attention. It is not focusing of attention, my dear. How clear. Nobody has opened up spirituality the way it has been. And we are so lucky that it started from Tulsi Sahab of Hathras, who initiated Swamiji Maharaj in Agra. In Sar Bachan, he explained those things. He was the first saint who opened it up for general people in simple language. All those verses there are explaining it. Then that treasure, through Baba Jemal Singh, was received and handed over to Savan Singh Ji Maharaj. He worked on it. He opened it further. And then we were lucky to have Ishwar Puriji with us. There are many other saints, Many of them are doing it. And they are guiding people. And they are guiding through Surat Shabad Yoga. Kabir talked about it. Ravi Das talked about it. Guru Nanak Dev. All the shrankla of all the gurus been talking about it. But how nicely it has been explained by beloved Ishwar Puriji. How many nitty-gritties he has cleared. And how beautiful things came up here. My mother blessed me with all that concept of co-aim theory in practice. Correlation of your attention, information and material. Material is your body, information is mind, and attention is your soul. Now what is this correlation between this? If you put your attention into time, means into mind, all that information will involve, and you will like to work on that information into the physical area, into the material. So information is then used into material to make those permutations and combinations of those elements and make something new. Every time something new, which comes from where? It comes through intuitions, my dear. Something new happens with science, and all those new things come up, and things happen. Navo navo bhavati. This is how some of the scriptures wrote, that something new happens every time. And then there are shlokas like Purnamidam Purnamujachyate, Sanskrit shlokas, which says that from something complete, another complete thing comes up. And again something complete comes up. From complete to complete to complete. Everything is completed. Because that energy is there, and it is complete in itself. Look how complete we are. We have got almost everything. And in some of his satsangs, he explains that we are operating at all the levels at the same time. Saints do this. They know that they are from there, from Sachkhand. They are operating. This cord is everywhere. That scanner can see everywhere. It can throw light on anything. So they are there and operating here at all the levels. And all the saints want you to become saints. They don't want you to become disciples only. They want you to become saints. Let this knowledge go to 7-odd billion people. And this is what is something so involving, my dear. And we must understand this part. Now, this Kal Chakra, right from the single cell to the crown of creation, the human body, as per karma aspect, it will keep on, you see that snake and ladder, something of that kind that small children play. And you do so many things, and one small little number comes and you come back again. And now you know that only there are two areas of free will. One free will be used for coming here, and all you decided is all predestined. And the second free will is to go back. No other free wills. Ishwarji talked about, he gave many examples of free will, talking with his friends and all. So there are only two times you got that free will, my dear. One, entering this game of time and material, and the second one is to come out of this game. Because here everybody loses, my dear. Nobody gains here. Everybody loses. It is like gambling. And we did that gamble to experience this time-bound material creation. So we could see the dream of the universal mind, of the Kal. Kal had a dream. And then he showed us his dream. Then we took a decision, a causal mind, the cause. Cause was to come and feel this dream. So we had another dream out of that universal dream. We had a causal mind and a causal body. It was like a dream. We had a blueprint. Not a blueprint. We had a sketch of a human body to experience this. We did further. We took another dream in the astral mind and astral body. And this dream covers up few billion years, few million years rather. And this starting from a single cell to graduate to the crown of Krishna, the human body. Coming and going back and forth, you have understood this area. That how many times from a astral body and an astral mind you entered into a physical body and a physical mind. You left this body because it's time bound. You go back to that area, come back again. So you saw those dreams, Every time you had a dream, you had a huge big dream, in the astral form. And out of that, you take smaller dreams, like as you have been explained about Sanchit Karma. Prempalji talks beautifully well on that. And out of those Sanchit Karmas, you take out another smaller dream for a smaller period when you come and take a physical form. And in the human form, it is hardly about 100 and odd years, because this body is designed for 120 years only. But the karmas which you have got, so then you took this is a dream, my dear. And I'm so happy that all our colleagues here in this group have heard all the masters. And every time, you are listening to different masters, what Rumi says, what Bulle Shah says, what, Bahu says, Sultan Bahu. Every time Michael Bahu talks about Bahu, he talks about certain couplets from Bahu. And all the saints, Now I think out of this group, everybody should have the best of experiences, because we are repeating it every day. And this is what is motivating us to go within and to enjoy this. And to me, I like to say that if you know all the time that you are a soul with an acquired mind and a created body, then you are living that life. And Ishwar Puriji says that Kivandeya Pivandeya means enjoying all this life and you are connected. Just withdraw your attention, you are there. He told you the methods, beautiful methods, that this is your own chamber inside. In the astral mind, you just go there, create your own house. You don't need bricks there, you don't need to buy cement or anything. You make mansions there. And as a seeker, you sit there. Everything is there, without any effort, because laws of nature are a bit different there. So most of the time, that 2.5 hours we give, and he says no, 24 hours you remain in meditation. If you are knowing that you are that visitor without having any attachments with all this, is a beautiful area. I think I have overshot my time, and I think I have explained that how really we can use this to go back. Thank you very much, Michael, giving me this chance to talk.
That was a very, very, very beautiful talk. I enjoyed every second of it. Thank you so much, Dr. Chand. That was an amazing talk.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, so now I can play our Holy Father Ishwar Puriji. And my sister, she asked a question, and I think he answers on minute 14. Okay. Yeah.
I could not get this, what you said, my dear. What question?
My sister, she asked a question about perfect masters, and in this video, it's answered like towards minute 14 or something like that.
Acha, okay, that's right.
So,
thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
cool.
you very much. Thanks.
person came to me and said, "Why are you always happy?" I was very surprised at the question. Don't we want to be happy? He said, if you are happy, you can't be on a spiritual path. That we hear some spiritual teachers say that this world is for suffering, and unless you suffer, you can't find your true home back. I said, I didn't know that you can't happily go back, that you can't be happy and can't go back. Sometimes we misread what the teachers have said. Obviously, that person was quoting from a Buddhist text, which was taken from the Jatakas of Buddhism. And in that text, he says this world is really meant for us to have suffering. And what was meant was that unless we see suffering, we cannot appreciate happiness. And therefore, if you want to get happiness, you go through suffering, the very thing we were talking about, the pairs of opposites. It did not mean that you have to create suffering in order to be on a spiritual path. It did not also mean that the spiritual path only means what is beyond this life. Don't we realize the spiritual path is a path of the spirit, of our soul, of our consciousness. It's in progress right now. It doesn't start from somewhere else. It's on its way right now. The spiritual journey is on. It starts when we start seeking our true home. The moment we have that feeling, we are done with this, we had enough of it, this was an experience, but now we want to go home, the spiritual journey starts. The spiritual journey has many phases, and many of those phases take place right here while we are outside in this physical world. For example, people say strange things happen by coincidence. What is coincidence? A coincidence is a mark of a milestone taken on the spiritual path. Coincidences are no accidents. People who have been seeking for the true home and moving in that direction have found these coincidences, strange events happening at the same time, unexpectedly, improbably, which are happening, are a guide to us what next step we should take on the spiritual path. These are coincidences happening in outside life. We look at some happenings and we say, that was miraculous, how it happened. You think that is not spiritual? Spiritual stuff takes place both inside and outside. The true mystics have explained to us, do not distinguish between inside and outside. What is looking like outside is also inside. The show is being created like a projector in a movie screen, on a movie screen. When we go to see a movie and we sit in the auditorium, we watch the screen. There are no characters on the screen. There is nothing but shadows on the screen. And the shadows take the form of characters. The shadows create the drama for us outside. And we never realize that the shadow is coming from something behind us. We never look back. We look in the front, on the screen, little realizing that the movie we are seeing is already filmed up, is already there on a film. It is lying behind us. And the light behind the movie is the only source by which we can see it on the screen in front. Identical condition with us. The light inside us, operating through the DVD of our karma we picked up and decided, which was a film preloaded, is operating to create on a multi-dimensional screen outside. That's what it is. If somebody says, no, movie has real people there, I say, look back. Go and check. There's a film already loaded in the projector, and the projector is projecting the shadow. And they can see it. But even if we know, and we know it, it's a movie. Why do we cry in the movies? Why do we take it so seriously? We think real things are happening. We take a movie as real even when we know it's a movie, even when we know it's not real. The reason is, as Aristotle explained, that we need drama to remove the excess of emotion that we have inside us. It is to get something off our chest. This drama is for the same purpose, to get this trap of time and space off our chest. We watch this drama outside. It takes a form of reality, like a movie does. And we look at the movie and we deliberately forget it's a movie. What Aristotle called a willing suspension of disbelief. We would normally not believe, but we don't want to disbelieve at that time. And so we won't enjoy a movie if we keep on saying, oh, that's just a movie, that's not real. Nobody will enjoy it. And nobody will spend $7 or $10 to see a horror stuff in the shadows. But we do. This life is like a movie. It's being projected from within. If we remember this part, that it's a movie and it is being projected, obviously the film is not outside on the screen. The film is behind us, behind these eyes with which we see. The film that is loaded from which the projection is coming out is inside. The light that makes that film active, that gives life to it, is behind that. You have to go behind the scenes to see how it operates. And that is why when we see things happening outside and we say, that was miraculous, don't think that is not a spiritual step forward. It is. Indeed, when we meet a person, a human being, whom we call a perfect living master, because while he is a character in the same movie taking place outside, he is able to talk to us, lead us to something that is beyond this movie. Where did that happen from? Obviously, that is also programmed inside, not outside. A perfect living master is as much of a shadow as anything else. It's not that is different in reality from others. The unreality or reality of a perfect living master in a human form is identical with everybody else. There's no difference. The only difference is the consciousness that is operating in that body seems to be different. Because from that consciousness, it can share information about the truth, about our true home. And a perfect living master does not talk from anything that he has learned. He talks from what he can see. He doesn't have to prepare something to be able to tell you what's going on. He's watching when he's telling you what is going on. When we take a spiritual journey to higher levels of consciousness, we go step by step. We withdraw our attention from this experience and open up another one. And we find that we are enlightened to find out that there is another world existing. And the world we thought was real was merely a copy of it, merely a reflection of it. That the real features of this world can be found somewhere else, which can be found by awakening yourself to that level. One step. But we still take that to be the ultimate reality, because we have found the source of creation of this reality. Just like when we go to sleep and have a dream state, we wake up, we say, this is real. That was not real. Same way, when we ascend through withdrawal of attention to another awakening to the astral stage, we say, that's real. Now we know what reality is. Now we have reached heaven. We have reached this place. Everything is there. The whole origin of the physical universe can be traced back in the astral region. There's no reason to suspect that there can be anything else. We have reached the end of our journey. But if you awaken further, get further enlightened to how that came into being, and you go to the causal level from where the mind is creating the three worlds, and then you find that even the astral world was merely a projection from the world of concepts and ideas that are flowing from there and creating congealed experiences in these two regions. When you rise above that, then you discover that the mind itself, creating this whole scene, is just made up of a device to create space, time, and events. And that's what it is doing. But it can fill up anything into it because the power that activates the mind is life force of consciousness. If consciousness is withdrawn from the mind, mind dies. It's the life force of consciousness that makes the sense perceptions, the astral body, alive. If that consciousness is withdrawn, the sense perceptions cease and the body, astral body, dies. If the life force is withdrawn from this body dies. The consciousness or life force is responsible for activating the activities of all these three. But then we find out that we are activating an equipment around us by which we generate new experiences. What about going beyond that? When we go beyond that, we find we were never any of these. These were covers upon ourselves. Our true reality is our soul, our spirit, our consciousness in per se. It does not need any of these things to be a self. The self existed prior to all this. The self exists independent of all this. The self is not dependent on the mind or the senses or the body. These are dependent on the self. These will die if the self does not activate them. Then we go to our ultimate reality, find that we are participating in a single ocean of consciousness, a single expanse of consciousness, a single source of totality of consciousness, total consciousness, and we are no separate units. There were no souls as such. Souls were merely an illusion created within that to individuate ourselves. The mind was merely created to be attached to an individuated soul. The sense perceptions were merely attached so we could have a different type of experience. The physical body as an embodiment of all this packaged together was merely designed to have a different kind of experience. We find that our individual journey is stage by stage, step by step, till we find the totality. What happens if you find totality? Then you never lose anything because you can see the whole thing from there. In totality, you don't see you are in totality and there is something separate because nothing can be separate from totality. When you reach totality, you find the physical, the astral, the causal, and the spiritual planes are all enclosed in that one. This is the beauty of arrival at the final stage. You discover that all the stages you went through are part of that. There's nothing outside of it. When a perfect living master of that level comes into our life and he talks to us, he's not talking from this level or that level. He's talking from all levels. And anyone who follows his path and reaches that point also knows all levels at once. Short of that, we only know one level at a time because we are used to one reality at a time to make it relative to other realities. One reality disappears to make the next one real. That one disappears to make the next higher one real, and so on. At the top, we find all were not real, including the top. They were all created as products of consciousness. And at that time, you have awareness of all and can step into any one that you like or step into all of them if you like. It is very difficult to explain the nature of consciousness of a perfect living master. We meet ordinary human being. Imagine a person with that kind of consciousness. How much he would love to be as ordinary as possible. He's not come to show off anything. He knows the whole thing is part of his own play. Therefore, his love and compassion is of unmatched quality because he can't see anything except love for this great show, love for the drama going on within itself. That is why his perfect living masters were very rare. There are so many spiritual teachers you'd come across in life. They take you to different levels. It's very, very rare to find a perfect living master of that order. Even those who have taken us to the state where we found our own soul, beyond the mind, we classify them as perfect living masters because they take us to a realization of ourself and remove us from the illusion created by the mind into these three worlds. But a perfect living master who at all times carries the consciousness of totality is a very rare phenomenon. It does not mean there's only one person who has that. There can be any number. In fact, Historically speaking, there were sometimes very few, sometimes many. According to Great Master, he mentioned that at no time were there more than a few who could be counted on the fingers of your two hands. That means it's really a rare event. Where do these people appear? And why do they appear? They appear where the seekers seeking that state are existing. Seekers who are seeking the ultimate, they come for those seekers. They do not come to explore areas because they have got all the areas in their hands, right there in their experience, in their vision. They come for the seekers. The seekers who want to go back to the true home of totality. They come for those. But then there are many seekers who only want some part of it. So we have many masters, many teachers who take you where you want to go. Some people like to go to heaven. They don't need a perfect living master saying, I'll take you to totality of consciousness. They find a master who can take them to heaven. Heavens are in the astral plane. All heavens are in the astral plane. Hells are in the astral plane too. If you don't have a proper guide, sometimes you can go the wrong place because it's more crowded than the other. We had a BB, a lady who used to be around the Great Master. And one day, she was crying and howling, shouting, screaming. And since he was our neighbor, my neighbor, and Great Master's house was just a little distant from there, she was crying, so we tried to open up the door and said, what has happened to her? She was screaming. And then we ran to Great Master to bring him that this BB, this lady is crying, howling. And so he came. She couldn't listen to us. We tried to talk to her. We said some kind of hysterical fit has gone on this lady and she can't even hear us. She can't even respond to us. But when the Great Master came, he said, BB, where are you? She said, I have gone into hell. He said, why did you go to hell? Out of curiosity. He said, why are you screaming? Are they hurting you? No, nobody is hurting me. Then why are you screaming? I am screaming because I can't see what they're doing to the other souls and other bodies here. There's so much torture going on here. There's real hell. She said, I didn't suspect there are real hells like this. And just out of curiosity, I said, let me take a little detour from my journey and see one of the hells. Now I'm trapped. I can't get out of it. He said, repeat the words I gave you for your mantra, for your repetition, for Simran. Repeat the words and get out. She said, the torture is so much I've forgotten my words. He said, can you hear me? She said, yes, I can hear you. Follow my voice and come out. And then she quietened down, opened her eyes, put her head on Great Master's feet and said, forgive me. Never do that again. It was quite an experience. People like us, like me, particularly skeptic like me, who never believed in hell and heaven, I said, these are all made up by us. I saw that experience. And I said, there must be something that creates this experience of a hell and experience of heaven. I have heard stories, met people who have been to heaven. And they tell me what it was like. Beautiful place, very nice. They meet all the dead people. They meet them in great white robes and so on. All these experiences exist in the astral plane, just one plane above the physical. There are masters who will take you there. And then there are masters who will take you to the next level, the origin of the entire creation, which is through the mind, the universal mind. They say that universal mind is the one to which we really belong. And they take us to universal mind, little realizing that's the origin of the mind. The soul is powering the universal mind. Consciousness empowers the universal mind to exist. We are above that. Our self is more powerful. It powers the universal mind and powers all minds that exist. But the universal mind is not our home. It's not our true home. It's the true home of our mind. The mind feels happy too when it reaches there. But then the soul is still seeking. We come many times into this world. Reincarnation in different forms. is a reality. Not only do so many people remember their past lives, so many people have got past life regressions and found it. You can go back and see your past lives inside you. Why go on other people's testimony? There was an American doctor, Julian Johnson. He came to the great master. He said, Master, I would like to see if I had past lives. I'm a missionary. I've been converting people to my faith. I've been working in India converting people. I'm a missionary from the United States. Show me that there is a past life. Then I will believe. The master said, it's very easy. You can see all your past lives. Just go 2 steps up in your meditation. You go to the causal plane, you will see the package that you picked up could not be created without a linkage of past lives. That nothing happens to us here unless there's a cause. And how can there be a cause at birth of a new baby? He quoted from the Bible. He said, a man brought his blind son to the master, to Jesus Christ, and said, Master, is this son born blind because of his sins or for my sins, my father's sins? The little boy born blind had no time to commit sin. And why should the father be responsible for the boy's blindness? The master answered, it is neither the sins of the child nor the sins of the father that have caused him to be blind. It is that the law may prevail. This is the current version of the Bible. There's a greater description in the Hebrew and other versions. That the law may prevail. Which law is going to prevail? To create a blind child being born. It was a law that had been picked up by so many people. The law of karma. Law of cause and effect. And how can you apply the law of karma to a child who's born blind when he had no time to create any karma? It has to be karma from some past event, past life. In any case, this can be verified, that we have so many lives. If we have so many lives, they all link together, then our spiritual seeking can extend over several lives. We don't come once and say, I'm a seeker and I'm going to go back home, and a master comes and takes us home. We are seekers distracted by this creation. We take one step. One step may be a long step, taking one whole life. We proceed next life to the next step, and so on. We can take several lifetimes to reach the point. In between, we meet all kinds of masters. We don't need at that time. We are not prepared. We are not ready to meet a perfect living master. We are ready for masters who take us in the right direction, inward to the journey. So that is why at all times there have been masters who take us to different levels. And we follow those masters as seekers. We keep on seeking. A master can only take us where he has gone. He cannot take us beyond. When a master can take us to the astral plane, he will call it true home. Say, you have now reached true home, and you will be convinced. But something in you will say, I don't think this is it. My seeking is still going on. Something in me is going on seeking. What is that which is going on seeking? Your own soul, not your mind. The soul keeps on seeking. All of us, we are all seekers, born seekers, because we have a soul. The soul is always a seeker. And when the soul seeks beyond what it has found, another master takes you higher up. And if the seeking continues, eventually you are ready to meet a perfect living master. How do you find a perfect living master? You can't find. Sorry. There's no way to find. You can find other masters. They may be a little different from us. A perfect living master does not have to be any different from us. Why should he be? He's not come to display anything. He doesn't come to show his ego that I am so and so, I am a master. A perfect living master has never said he's a master. He has never pretended to be anything more than everybody else. Indeed, if his station in life puts him at a rank above others, and a seeker comes with below him, he'll come to the level of the seeker who's below him and work at that level. Because the true nature a fulfillment of that seeking, which the soul has, is to be pulled by love. Love, an element, an experience that exists only beyond the mind. Love that cannot be created by thinking. Love that is often destroyed by thinking. Is created by our inmost self, the soul. It's an inherent property, it's an inherent qualification of the soul to have the experience of love. Therefore, perfect living masters do not use any other method except to draw us to our source through the power of unconditional love. A power that we begin to feel pretty quickly in the company of such people. They're ordinary people, yet very extraordinary in the unconditional love. The unconditional love makes them totally non-judgmental. They do not come to take us home because we are good people. Good boys and bad girls will, good boys and good girls will go home and others will stay here. The Santa Claus does that, I guess. They come to pick up the souls that are seeking and are ready to go. They do not judge how good or bad we were. That judgment is left to a lot of other people who will take you to the level of the mind that judges. They come to take you home. They know we are trapped in good and bad. We are trapped in this morality. And they take us out of it. So therefore, they do not judge. It takes a little while for a newcomer to say, this is an ordinary kind of guy. Let's see what happens. As you associate, you find love is unconditional, without judgment, without change, without anger, without hesitation. What is this? It doesn't look like ordinary human beings, yet he looks like an ordinary human being, lives like an ordinary human being, eats like an ordinary human being, does shir like an ordinary human being. You know what shir is? If it's a man, shit, shower and shave. Just like ordinary people. There's no difference. He is an ordinary person. Indeed, as a human being, he is an ordinary human being. He's not even showing off that he is more than that. But his consciousness is somewhere else. And therefore, he is in touch with something that we would like to be in touch with. Therefore, he can guide us. So, remember that the sign of a perfect living master is something that we cannot see at first sight. Sometimes you can. If you have been a seeker and have met other masters for a long time, then you can see. Otherwise, with association, you find that you get a lot. Which brings me to a point, how important is it to associate with that person? It's far more important than reading books. It's far more important than meditation. It's far more important than any other ritual that we do. Because in the company, we become like that person. That's the nature of the human mind, to become like where we keep our company. If we keep the company of such people with that kind of consciousness, we become like them. One of the very famous mystics, Kabir, he wrote some nice Hindi poetry. In one of his verses, he says, Ek ghadi, adi ghadi, I'll translate it for you. Ek ghadi, adi se bhi yaad. Sangat saad ki kate kot aprad. Another line, this line says that if you spend a time, an hour and a half, or less than half of that, or even half of that, it can cut off so much of your karma, nothing else can. In other words, he says, to spend less than half of a ghadi is a 1.5 hour, is more useful on the spiritual path than 1,000 years of meditation. That's a big exaggeration, I guess. But he exaggerates to make a point that hollow meditation as a mechanical thing, to sit and close your eyes and say, we are going somewhere, doesn't take you anywhere. You can do it for 1,000 years, you won't go anywhere. But when the love and devotion pulls you towards your true home, from where it comes, towards your soul, you make your journey successful. There are people who meditate mechanically, that it's all a process of just sitting quietly, closing your eyes. and sitting and looking in the darkness in front. And once in a while, if you rub your eyes, you see some light. If somebody knocks you on the head, you can see light. That's not the light we are speaking of. We are speaking of a light that you can't see outside. It's more than what the light outside exists. Therefore, you will see that there are many masters who come. And then there are masters who create cults. You are my follower, now you can't go anywhere. I would never go near such a master. He's blocking me from my own investigation. He's blocking me from my seeking. A master who says, this is it, now don't go anywhere, is blocking me. I want to explore everything openly. The thing that impressed me with great master was, he initiates me, tells me a path to follow, and he says, go and look for anything better. And go and find. If you find anything better than I've given you, take it. Don't come back to me for my permission. Permission granted in advance. Take it. And do me one favor, he said. If you find something better, come and tell me. I'll also take it. The great master's words. That was the thing that really opened me up, that he's so open. And I took him so literally. I went everywhere to investigate where the other masters are available, what do they teach, what religion teach. Got converted to religions. Tried everything out. For about 10 years, 8 or 10 years, I was doing nothing else but this. Let me find something better and prove it to my master. I found something, now I take it back to you. I couldn't. I happened to mention this very thing in an earlier talk of mine, and somebody emails to me. He says, you said that you are still ready to look for something better. That means you're not satisfied. That means you have not reached perfection at all. You're still looking for something better. That also means your master did not have. He said, if you find something better, I'll take it. That means he left scope for something better. I said, that was never the intention. This was the confidence of a person who said, nobody can find anything better, let them try. It was that you had reached a stage when you could make a challenge to anybody who said, I have something better, go and find it, tell me. Nobody ever found it. I spent, out of 87 years of my life, I spent at least 77 looking for it. And I didn't find anything better. So today I'm content, but still open. If somebody tells me something better, I'll take it. This is so amazing that when we see the structure of creation, when we see how the Creator created, and who are we in relation to the Creator, when we see that, all the answers come up completely. They are not incomplete answers. Many answers we get to our questions raise more questions. But the knowledge of totality of consciousness does not leave scope for any other questions. All questions that can arise get filled up and get answered. That's a very strange state of being. That's our true state of being. That's who we are. Covered by all these other bodies and covers and mind and so on, and we look so different. But we did it deliberately with a purpose, as I mentioned to you. And therefore, if somebody says, I have found a master, I can't be unfaithful to him and go look anywhere else, I warn that person, you are getting into a cult. This spiritual path is not a cult. It does not bind you down. It's an experimental thing. You experiment with consciousness. You experiment with the nature of the self. You experiment and go within at your own pace and find out who you really are. You experiment and see, are you the mind or are you different? What is the function of the mind? What's your functions independently? You discover all these things in the very area where they are operating. It's a scientific experiment. The science lab is your head. That's your lab. You work inside this head, not outside. We don't need outside observers to tell us who we are. We don't have psychologists to explain to me what my consciousness is. A psychologist can talk about behavior, but behavior is a very small part of our life. Therefore, the discovery of who we are has to be made by ourselves, within ourselves. It's experiential, totally experiential. And that is why, if you have found masters, great. If you want to move forward, seek more. Since you can never find a perfect living master, obviously, the onus must fall on the perfect living master to find you. If he can't find you, he's not a perfect living master then. If we're talking of totality, we're talking that you are part of that consciousness of the same person, human being, and if he can't even know who is a seeker, write him off. He couldn't be a perfect living master. A perfect living master is one who identifies and knows the seeker, one to whom he can appear as a friend and pull him with the power of unconditional love. That person, the seeker experiences coincidences. How did this happen? How did I come across this? How did I read a book about this? How did I move there? Where did I get this information from? Series of coincidences lead you to such a human being. It's all planned. It's a good plan to be found. And we feel we are found. We found. It's like a group of blind people are trapped in a room, a dark room, where the door, only one door in that room is flush with the wall, so you can't see where the door is when you move. These blind people are trying to get out, see the door. They are putting their hands on that wall to see where's the door. We'll find the door. They're all going around in circles. And a man who's not blind, with eyes, opens the door and comes in. And he watches the blind people saying, we know how to find the door. We are going to the door. And none of them can discover because the door is flush with the wall. He then finds one guy is really keen to go out. He holds his hand and he says, I know, I can see the door. I'll take you out. The blind man says, I found it. I found the man who can take me out. He didn't find the man, but he thinks he found the man. It's the man with the eyes open who can find the man who is blind. Therefore, sometimes the seekers think we have found something. But if you are ready, you will be found. Secret is seek. Be ready. You will be found. That's the basis of the activity of a perfect living master. Now you joined me on this holiday. I'm very happy to rejoice with you. Enjoy this holiday. Be happy. And don't worry. Because worry is, according to a notice I saw in the church, worry is praying for failure. When you want to pray for failure, you worry. And worry about things that are not known, will not happen, is 10 times more worry that is necessary as a concern. If you're concerned about some matters, just deal with them, straightforward. And if you have problems, solve them peacefully. People complain to me about domestic problems because we get married or we live in with somebody and the honeymoon is over very quickly. And then we start arguing. And then we complain. Our marriage is breaking up. A holy man came the other day to Chicago and I went to listen to him. And a girl got up and said, I have a problem with my husband. We keep on arguing and fighting all the time. Any solution? The holy man gave a solution. He said, a similar incident happened in India. The man was from India. An Indian woman went and complained to a Swami, a yogi, a holy man, that I and my husband are fighting all the time and arguing over things and his life has become a mess. And the Swami said, you bring a bottle of water, I will bless it. And then this fight will stop. So she brought a bottle of water. And he did some mantra on it and did something. It is blessed water. She says, how often should I give it to my husband? He said, not for your husband. It's for you. But the method is when your husband starts argument, take one sip of this water and hold it in your mouth till he stops. And then swallow it. If he argues again, take another sip. The point is, you cannot have a continuous argument if one of them is calm and peaceful. So therefore, many of these things can be easily solved if you find the reality of what's going on and are linked, anchored in the spiritual path. This life undergoes a very big change. Life here is such a big change just by being on a spiritual path. So I congratulate all of you for being here, because you're all on the spiritual path, otherwise you wouldn't be here. So make the best use of this great spectacle that we are seeing, we call life, and then be ready for more experiences. God bless you. Thank you very much. Happy holidays.
Those who are initiated will use their mantra given by the masters. Those who are not initiated can use a temporary mantra created by themselves, expressing love for somebody. Close your eyes. Imagine this body of yours is your house in which you live. It has several floors. The lowest floor is right where you're sitting down at the bottom. Then as the floors rise, you are on the 6th floor behind the eyes. And that's the place where you will always meditate. That is your meditation chamber. So go and imagine you are sitting in the middle of this meditation chamber. And you can examine that the house, this body-like house around you on the 6th floor, that you are sitting on top of your throat. You're sitting on top of your body, and the ears are around you, and the eyes are in front of you. Your hair is on top of you, and you are sitting relaxed, totally relaxed, no tension. The body has nothing to do with it. There's no pressure on the body or the head or the eyes. You are using your imagination to sit behind the eyes in the center of the head. And whatever comes in front, look at it, but don't follow it. If any sounds come, listen to the sounds attentively, but don't move towards them. If a sound comes from the top, listen while you're sitting relaxed in the center. Sound comes from the right, listen from the center. Sound comes from the left, stay in the center and listen to it. If two sounds come, pick up the one coming from the right or above and drop the other. And if a sound seems to be around you, pick up that and listen to it attentively. Put all your attention on the sound when the sound comes. Meanwhile, keep on repeating the words. If the sound disappears, go back to repetition. And when the sound comes, drop the repetition, listen to the sound.